Hi everyone, welcome back to the WebDriver D3 session. In the previous tutorial, we actually did some practice on automating the website using WebDriver. In today's session, we will learn few new topics. Those are related with the Maven and locating element. Okay, so this is going to be a practice session only, but with few new learners. So very first thing is I will be creating a new project, but not Java project this time. I will be creating a Maven project. So Maven, it is a project management tool that has so many features. For example, it helps you to organize your project in a better way. It defines how should be the structure of your project, and Maven also helps in compiling, building, executing without any Selenium, without any IDE. Okay, for example, Eclipse, you don't need to have Eclipse. Let's say if you just want to run the test cases. So I'm going to create a Maven project first. Okay, so don't forget to check this checkbox. Always always check this checkbox as saying create a simple project. I'm saying next. All right. So every Maven project has few important things. Okay, these are the three important things which are mandatory for every Maven project. So the Maven project group ID, I want to give group ID as, let's say, com.vikas.training. Okay, so this is a group ID, and group ID is similar like a package name. You can consider that this project belongs to this group. Most of the time the group name is something like com.company name, .department name, or the account name, something like that. Artifact ID is very much similar like your project name. So artifact ID, it means the project name that we say, and in our case, I want to give the artifact ID as the 3 Maven WebDriver. Okay, this is the name of my project which I am giving, Maven WebDriver D3. I will give date 03. Okay, so and here you can see the project got created. Day 03 Maven WebDriver. Let's open that project, and there you will see some predefined folder structure. But guys, always remember that if you want to use a Maven uses online repository, so your machine should have good internet connectivity as well. Okay, so as you can see, the Maven project is created. Okay, there is no progress bar to my Eclipse. There is no progress bar to my Eclipse, and there are some predefined folder structure already there. Okay, there is some predefined folder structure. So src main resources, src test Java. So every Maven, mostly the basic Maven project has few things common. Okay, let me explain that. So the Maven project has two things. First is the main, okay, and then second is test. So main Java, main resource. So similarly, test Java and test resource is there. So this main is actually used for, okay, it's used for storing your source code. Every project has two things. One is the source code and the test cases. So this main and resource folder, this main and resource src, all these two folders are actually used for storing the source code, and the src test Java will be stored for the test cases or the test script that we write. Src test Java and the resources. So when I say main Java, when I say main Java and main resource, the difference is Java will contain the Java classes, resource will only contain the files which are used by the source code. Okay, it might be XML, Excel, or some binary files or any other files basically. So in src test Java, we will write the test script, and in src test resource, we will store some files, for example, test data, or some XML file, or Excel file, or any other file for that matter. Okay. So this is the high level structure. So as an automation tester, I will be writing code in src test Java. Okay, I won't be writing any code in src main Java unless you are developing a framework. But right now I don't want to develop a framework. I will be actually going with a simple normal test script. Okay, so I will be using src test Java. Okay. So what I will do is src test Java, right click new class. Now let's say I want to create a class for new tools login. The class name I am giving is new tools login test. Say finish. Okay. So public class new tools login test. There I will write main method. Okay. As everybody knows the main method, so I'm writing main method, but maybe from next session onward, I won't be using main method. Okay. So there is a main method, and inside the main method, I should be writing a code for, let's say, system dot set property. The property name for Chrome is WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver, and then we give path, right? So the path is // driver / Chrome driver dot exe. Okay, that's the path. Let me confirm whether the path is correct. // driver and then Chrome driver dot exe, as you can see the path. Okay. Now next part is I need to create object of Chrome driver so that it will launch my browser. Okay. So I'm writing WebDriver control space. I just said control space, but I don't see WebDriver class. Can anyone tell me what is the reason why that WebDriver is not shown in this list? Any guesses, guys? Please reply on chat window. No, it is not because of Maven. Okay. Oh, there is a typo. Chrome driver. I don't think there is. Okay. Because we are not selected Java program, Selenium jar. Okay, Chandrasekhar, jar, binding, need to import jar, add, not add a jar, Selenium server standard not related. Yes, guys, very good. So the reason is, in this project, what we do is, we go to the properties, Java build path, and then library section, we add that Selenium server standalone jar file. But guys, remember, we are going to use, we will be using Maven. Okay, in case of a Maven, do not add any jar file in build path. Again, I am saying, so in Maven, do not add any jar file into build path. Okay, because Maven has a very nice feature of a dependency management. So in the Maven project, you will see a pom.xml file, which is the default file created, and it contains metadata of your project. So basically, the group ID we specified, artifact ID that we gave, the version number, which we selected by default, is everything is there. In that pom.xml, you guys have to add a dependencies tag. Okay. Instead of adding a jar file, go to the pom.xml and add the dependencies tag. So in that dependencies tag, you need to add one tag actually, 3 tags actually. So let me show you from where to get the tag. So let me show you that, where to get the Selenium tag. seleniumhq.org/download. Okay, this was the page we actually downloaded the Selenium server standalone 3.8.1 version. But for a Maven, there is a separate Maven information link to the left hand side. Just open that, and you see the Maven information here. So what it contains. It is a dependency tag which contains group ID, artifact ID, and the version. Let me copy that dependency tag, paste it into dependency. So now you can see that there is a dependencies which may contain multiple dependency tags. So there is just one dependency tag which I have added in the dependencies. The version is 3.7.1, but I want to use 3.8.1 version, which is the latest one. Just say Control S. There you will see a progress bar, and this progress bar actually will download the required jar files for your project. Okay. So just add this dependency tag and just say Control S. That will add your Selenium Java jar file into your project. So to confirm whether that Selenium jar file is added, go to the Maven dependencies and expand and see that all the jar files are there or not. So Selenium Java 3.8.1, Selenium API 3.8.1, Selenium Chrome driver version 3.8.1, like that. It has so many Selenium jar files. Okay. Now this is the way you have to edit your pom.xml file. Pom.xml file is by default created once you create Maven project. Okay. Just double click on the pom.xml file. Then you will see different tabs. By default you will see overview. But if you want to edit the pom.xml, click on the pom.xml. Okay, the tabs which is present here. Okay. Now I have added dependencies. Just say Control S. Once you say Control S, make sure that there is no any error or a warning for your project. Okay, I don't see any red color error or exclamation sign for my project. That means everything is fine. If by adding the dependencies and dependency tag, with the right version and the right artifact ID, group ID, still you are getting some error or a warning sign, red colored warning sign for your project, that means the jar file is not downloaded online. In that case, right click on the project, see Maven. If you are getting error, even though if you do everything right click on your project, Maven, update project, check this box, force update of snapshot and releases, and just say OK. Once you say OK, it will again try to download the required jar file, online, and wait for that completion. Now the thing is, I already have downloaded Selenium-jar, somewhere, in my previous project. So when you again create a new project next time and you add a dependency tag, then Maven do not actually download that file again. Maven already has its local repository, and Maven first check whether the same version of that artifact is present in your local repository. If it is present, then Maven is not going to download it again. But if that version of the artifact ID is not present in your local repository, then only Maven is going to download the new jar files online. I hope it is clear. If you guys have any questions, you can stop me at any point and please ask your question. All right. Let's come back here. New tools, login test. I'm saying WebDriver, control space, and now you should be able to see these options. Because the Maven dependency is now added into your POM, and Maven has also downloaded the required jar files. So I will say WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, WebDriver driver equal to new Chrome driver, and I will simply say driver dot get, pass the URL to open, http://newtools.demoaut.com, newtools.demoaut.com. So this is the link which I want to open. Let me show you first this website, how it looks. This is a demo website from HP, and you can use it for as a sample application for learning testing. Okay. Now, first try this code. Let's try this code is working or not. So simply right click, run as Java application. Okay, let's wait for some time, and there you see only local connections are allowed. Browser is open, and it is trying to open the URL. Yeah, the URL is being loaded. Okay, so that means my script, automation script, is working. There is no exception, and the web page was loaded. So here onwards, you can actually continue for the next part. We have what we have learned so far is getting started with Maven. Guys, we are not done yet. We are not done yet learning the Maven. Maven is really a big topic, and we won't be able to finish within one session. So we will actually get started with the Maven, and with slowly we will learn Maven in advance. But I just wanted to get started with the Maven. So that is the reason I have showed you that how to get started with the Maven. So, but remember, Maven is not done yet. We will be still learning Maven, okay, as we move ahead. Now, next topic is locators. So, as I said, there are 8 types of locator. Okay, so I will just mention few of those. First is ID. Okay, we generally write py.id. Name is also there. ID, name, class name, tag name, link text, partial link text, CSS Selector, and expert. So this is the total 8 types of a locator. From this 4, these are very much easy. If your tag is having ID is equal to something, you can use that ID value for locating an element. We already practiced this, so I won't be covering this 4 types of a locator. Let's say you wanted to inspect a div, so the tag name is going to be div. A class name, that means if you have something which is written class is equal to CLS, you can actually, in that case, you can actually use that by.className, and the CLS is the parameter that we will pass. Okay. Now it might happen that one element, for example, there is anchor tag having class is equal to CLS 1 and CLS 2. Okay. Click here A. So this is a simple HTML. So that one tag is having 2 classes, class 1 and class 2. The classes are separated by a space, remember. Okay. So to locate this element, you can use any one of this class. So you can say that by dot class okay, you can say any of this option, both are valid. But guys, let's say class 1 is not unique, then you should actually use class 2. You should be using the locator which is unique. So we will talk more about these classes. Then tag name, it means, let's say in my previous example, let's say anchor is a tag, so tag name is A. And how do you use it? Simply just write by dot tag name. In the tag name, you give the tag name like this. Or let's say h1 is the tag which you want to inspect. You can simply say that by dot tag name h1. And this you are going to pass it to, driver dot find element. Oops, sorry. Yeah, driver dot find element by tag name. So it will return the element. And let's say I want to read the text of that element. I will simply say that dot get text method. Get text method will return me the text of that h1 heading. Okay. All right. There is a link text as well. Link text and partial link text. These are specifically for hyperlink. Okay. Let me show you where you can actually use. Now see, there is a hyperlink your destination. Let me inspect. I'm inspecting that your destination hyperlink. It is a tag. Yes, it is a hyperlink. Then href is equal to something, Mercury under construction.php. And some value is also there. I don't care about the value. What I'm worried is, what I need is your destination text. So just copy this text, or you can also copy the value which is there on the screen. Just copy the value, your destination, and in automation script, simply write by dot link text and paste the text, which you already copied. It is a case sensitive, guys. So make sure you write, you copy the exactly right text, okay, and you don't add any extra spaces or something like that. So this is the way you will use link text. Okay. The next is partial link text. Now let's take example. I want to click on the business travel. Okay. I want to click on this link business travel @about.com saloon travel. Okay. Let's say that the business travel text is fixed and about.com could be anything. I don't know what is exactly text is there. What I want is, I want to say that click on a link which contains business travel word. Okay, so I will just inspect that. There is a business travel word or just a business, I will use only business because there are so many spaces as you can see it here. Okay, I'm just saying double click and there are so many spaces you can see it here. So what I will say is, I will simply say that, by dot partial link text, and I will only use business because I don't know what is the other value or how many spaces, how many tabs, or what there could be any other text as well. So instead of giving the full text, I will say only, I will give only partial text, something like that. By dot partial link text. Oops, sorry. Okay, business. I will remove that. So even though if you write this much also, still it is going to, it will work. It will uniquely identify the business travel @about.com saloon travel. Okay. What if the other link? There is a question from Rushali. What if the other link contains the same word business? Okay. In that case, I think I already discussed. I don't know. Now what will happen? What if multiple matches? Then you answer, guys. Let's say I'm saying by name, but there are so many elements which have the same name. Okay, I'm saying by class name, but there are so many elements which have the same class. So in that case, it will not uniquely identify element. So what will happen if I'm writing a code something like this? Driver dot find element by dot name, and there are n number of elements which are matching with nm as the name, but I called as a click method. Excuse me for time. Yeah. What will happen if I try to execute this code? Because this nm will be matched with a multiple element, and I am calling a method find element. So I want only one element. So what happens, this method find element will return me the first matching element in the HTML. Okay, driver.find element will match to the first matching element. Sunil and Vijay is right. So it will only return me the first matching element. So you need to take care, of which locator you are writing, how many elements are getting matched for that locator. Hope I answered your query, Vishali. Any other questions? So if there are multiple matches, find element returns the first matching element. Okay, and there are two locators, CSS Selector and XPath. These are considered as advanced. Okay, these are considered as advanced locators. Let me cover CSS Selector first. Okay, now the syntax is something like this. We write tag name. Okay, then let's say you want to write ID also. You can give hash then ID of the element. Let's say you want to use a class name. Class name starts with a dot. Okay, guys, always remember ID starts with hash, class name starts with dot. Remember. So I'm saying, tag name which is having ID as ID and the class name as CLS. Okay, so this is the syntax. And again, you can also specify some attribute. Let's say attribute value in single quote. Okay, so this is the high level syntax of CSS Selector. Maybe as a first impression it may sound or it may look like a difficult locator, but actually it is not. It's very easy. So let's go and I will demonstrate how to use it. So let's take example of a username text box I'm inspecting. Okay, I'm inspecting the username and I see the HTML as input type equal to text, name equal to username, and the size equal to 0. Okay, or I will take any other example, because it is not having any class or ID. I will use Flipkart. Let's use Flipkart.com. The page is still loading. Looks like there is something wrong with the Flipkart. I will try Amazon. Okay, so that is Amazon website. You can choose some category. Let's say I wanted to use laptop category. Okay, so I'm into a laptop category, and now it is time to inspect few elements. Let's say I want to inspect this card text. Right click on the card saying inspect. A new inspect window is opening. Actually, I have configured it to open into new window. These are the options. You can actually open as a separate window, or you can just dock to the left hand side, or you can dock to the bottom, or you can dock to the right hand side. It's up to you. So there is a span. Okay, as you can see that cart is getting selected. See, this is the span. Just below that there is another span. Okay, just below that there is a span which has a number. The number is 3. Can you see that there are 3 card items in my cart? So the number is 3. Okay, who is the parent of this all span tags? The parent is A tag. A is actually the hyperlink. Okay, now if I want to locate this hyperlink, I wanted to click on cart. So you can locate any span or you can locate hyperlink. Anything is fine. It's up to you. You decide what you want. So I'm going with the easy option. because I see here ID is equal to navcart is there. ID equal to navcart. But how to confirm whether this ID is really unique on this HTML? So to confirm this ID is unique on the HTML, just say Control F, go to the HTML, Control F, and write hash, because it is ID. ID starts with hash, and then write the ID. Okay, here you will see the number of matching elements. One element is getting matched. So as it is saying 1 of 1, that means there is only one element which has navcart as a ID. I hope it is clear. Okay, so this, what you see here is, something is starting with a hash, it means it is ID. This is a syntax of CSS. So I will say example. Example is this, hash navcart, it means any element which has ID as a nav-cart. Okay, so the tag name is optional, the dot class is optional, the square bracket is optional. You can use any one, at least any one is required from this thing. So this is valid CSS. Okay, let me give you another example. Okay, there is a class now. So there is class equal to nav-a, nav-a-2. So how many classes are there, guys? Okay, there are actually two classes, nav-a space. Space is the separator in between two multiple classes. So this one element has two classes, and you can use any one class, if it is unique for locating. So let's check, which class is unique. So I want to check nav-a, is it unique? So as it is a class starts with dot nav-a. It's not giving me anything actually. Sorry, oh my bad. So as you can see, there is a hyperlink, which has class equal to nav-a. Okay, I will say enter. There is another anchor tag which also has a class equal to nav-a. I will say enter. And there are actually multiple elements. As you can see, the total count is like something. There are so many elements which has class is equal to nav-a. So if you use driver.find element by class name nav-a, it will return you the first element, not all the elements. Okay. But I want to inspect cart. So let's inspect cart again. This is the anchor tag for cart. Cart has one more class. Actually, it was having one more class, no? Okay, this is the anchor tag I was talking about. It has one more class as nav-a-2. Let me check if nav-a-2 is unique. So just go to search, say dot, and paste the class. Now how many classes are matching? There are 6 elements matching. That means even this class is also not unique. Okay, that means this class is also not unique. Let's say you wanted to say some additional parameter in filtering. I want to say that all the hyperlink tags which are having a tag. Okay, so the syntax I give is a dot class name. Okay, first I wrote tag name. This is the syntax, tag name. Then you can give dot class. So I said tag name dot class name. So it means anchor tag having class nav-a-2. So this is the meaning. Okay, the meaning of this CSS selector is any tag having ID as nav-cart. I hope it is clear to you guys. So the classes, which were mentioned here are not unique. Oops, sorry, by mistake I clicked on a product. Oh, again happened. Inspect. Yeah. So this is the span, and I was talking about the anchor tag. Now there is a nav cart count, which is ID. Okay. If you want to confirm that this is ID is unique, just copy it. It is ID, so ID starts with hash, and just paste it. You can see that it is unique. Most of the time, IDs are unique and class names are not unique. This is what happens most of the time. So the first preference should go to ID. If there is ID, use ID directly. Okay, but let's say if there are multiple elements are matching, and I want to say that the tag name has to be span, you go to the, go here and say span, then hash span hash the ID. Okay, it means a tag name should be span and the ID should be nav cart count. Additionally, you can also use the class name here. I'm saying dot, I will say nav hyphen cart hyphen count. So can you see that class is equal to nav hyphen cart hyphen count, and there is one more class, guys, nav hyphen cart hyphen 1, nav hyphen cart, something like that. Something, this is the class which I'm using now. You can use both the classes to locate one element. It is possible to use both the classes to locate one element. Just write dot class 1 dot class 2. Okay, how to do that? Let me tell you. See, I'm writing, let's take some other examples. Yeah, I can take this one, or I can take this example. So there is a nav hyphen a class, nav hyphen a hyphen 2 class. There are two classes. So I will say that dot nav hyphen a. So how many matching elements for nav hyphen a? So there are 12 matching elements for nav hyphen a class. Again, I'm saying, both the classes. So dot nav hyphen a hyphen, what was that? 2, I guess. So when I say nav hyphen a dot nav hyphen a hyphen 2, now the filter count is reduced to 6. And this will only select all those elements which has both the classes. See, it has both the classes. Next, both the classes present. Next, both the classes are present here. Next, both the classes are present. That way. So this is a syntax. You can actually use both the classes together to locate one element. Okay, I'm going to say that any tag having both classes as, I don't think I really need to write that complete sentence, but I will just write in shortcut. And now hyphen 2. So these both classes have to be there in the class. So this is a syntax. Optionally, you can write the tag name also. Let's say I'm writing a tag name as div. Div is my tag name. So it will not be any tag. It will be a div tag having both classes as, not both. Okay. Both the classes has to be there in the tag. Now we covered ID. We covered class. We covered multiple classes. We can also have ID and the class combination. That is also covered. For example, you can say that ID and class combination. Let's say this is the element which has, which don't have ID. Here you can see that nav hyphen cart is ID is there. So I'm saying hash, because ID starts with hash, nav underscore hyphen cart. Okay, as you can see, one element is selected, nav hyphen cart. But let's say there are multiple elements are getting matched for this locator. Then you further go on filtering it. So I'm adding one more filter as, I will add both the classes, or just as one class is also fine. I will say dot nav hyphen e. Now as you can see, this means element having ID as nav hyphen cart and the class name as nav hyphen e. Okay. Okay, so any tag having id as nav hyphen card and class as nav hyphen a. I hope it is clear. Okay, it is. I hope it is clear. One more example is, we covered these three things. Now the only thing is remaining is attribute and value. You can actually use any attribute of the tag to look it. Now for example, it has an attribute as tab index equal to 29. I want to find the element which has attribute as a tab index and the value should be 29. So the syntax is square bracket, attributes are written in a square bracket in CSS, index is equal to single quote 29 single quote. Is it matching? Oh, sorry, I did typing mistake. Alright, you can see that tab index equal to 29 and which is unique, and it is only highlighting one element. So you can use this locator as well. For example, something like this: any tag having attribute and value as tab index, and the value should be 29. Okay, optionally you can combine that with a tag name also. Let's say tag, and then I just pasted it, so it will not be any tag, it will be anchor tag having attribute and the value as tab index 29. I hope it is clear. You can again combine ID or class name or any further attribute. Let's say you wanted to use two attributes, for locating element. So for example, there is a class area hidden equal to true, and the ID is equal to nav card count. You can combine that. Okay, how to do it? See, this is a syntax. I'm just replacing the double quote with a single quote. I hope it is clear. So it will select all the elements which has Arial hyphen hidden equal to true, and you can see that there are so many elements which has this attribute. How many? There are 80 elements. There are 80 elements having this Arial hidden attribute as a true value. So what I will do is I'm going to combine that with a class name. So I will say dot class name and then square bracket Arial hidden true. Okay. So come here, paste it and see how many now. Oh, there is 0 matching. That means there is no element which has class name as nav hyphen a and attribute as area hidden. I don't know what exactly it is. Okay. So there is no any element, right? So let me use ID instead of this class name. Alright. So as you can see, I give ID and the attribute equal to value. This is what is expected, and one matching element is found. But guys, tell me, let's say if I am locating this element with the help of ID, I should be writing this attribute and value? Is it a good idea to write this attribute and value, guys? No, right? If I can locate this element only using ID, then why to unnecessarily add more conditions in filtering, right? There is no need of a filter. So do not add any extra conditions, just use minimum attribute to locate element uniquely. Okay, so use minimum set of attributes to locate element uniquely. Unnecessarily do not just add so many elements or so many conditions to find the element uniquely, if you can do it with easily. So these are the different CSS selectors, guys, that we have learned. Now talking about the practical implementation, so I'm going to the new tools.demo.ud. I want to inspect username. So let's inspect username. Okay, we covered the basics of CSS selector. Now I'm inspecting a username. It has name equal to username. I can use that name equal to username. I can use this name equal to username. So going to write here driver dot find element by dot name, because it has name, right? It has name, so you can simply say that send keys. The username is tutorial and the password is also tutorial for this website. Okay. So driver dot find element by dot name username dot send keys tutorial. The same thing you can do with the CSS selector. Okay, but for CSS selector the syntax is going to be something like this. If you want to use a CSS selector, okay, the syntax is name is attribute, right? So square bracket name equal to okay. So driver dot find element by dot CSS selector, and the CSS selector is name equal to username, and on that element I am actually sending tutorial key, tutorial text. Similarly, I will do it for the password. Okay, it has name equal to password. You can use name equal to password, and the password is tutorial. And let's come back. Now it is time to click on the sign in. So let's inspect sign in. What is sign in, guys? It is input type equal to image, because it is an image. It is input type equal to image. It has name equal to login. You can use that name equal to login. Okay, or you can use that type equal to image, but I think there will be let's find out how many elements having type equal to image. It is very easy, we already learned it. Let's count how many elements are there which are having attribute type equal to image. So it's very easy, just say Control F and there write a CSS selector. So CSS selector is square bracket attribute name and then value, and see how many elements are getting matched. 1 of 1, that means only one element is getting matched. So input type equal to image, name equal to login, this is getting matched. So I will use this CSS selector. Guys, I am not intentionally using name, just to do some practice on CSS selector, but in all of above these conditions, in all of these 3 statements, ideally the first preference should go to the name, because there is no ID. Ideally you should be using by.name, but only for practicing purpose, practicing CSS, I am actually giving some this weird kind of locators here. Okay, so I said type equal to image. On that image I want to perform click. So after clicking, I will read the page URL of my browser, the page URL. So after login, the page URL I will print is the URL. You will get it from the driver dot get current URL. Get current URL. This is a method called on a driver which returns the URL of your browser. Now let's run the script and see the outcome. Tutorial and sign in is clicked. Okay, the browser is loaded with the user home page. The URL you can see is my mercuryreservation.php. Come back to Eclipse and see that mercuryreservation.php is the URL, and that completes the first part of CSS selector. So we are done with the basic the basic module of CSS selector. CSS selector has 2 parts. One is the basic and advanced. So we are done with learning basic CSS selector. There are still advanced CSS selectors are remaining. Maybe that we will cover in the next session. But that's all for today. Thank you guys for attending this session. and let me know if you have any questions in the chat window. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye bye.